Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, or whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. I have been making the most fun shapes and making them into earrings lately, and it's been really hard to figure out what I want to do for a tutorial on this stuff. I think it's something that you will really like and have a lot of fun with and be able to make some custom pieces, really designer type pieces, but there's just too much to do in one video. So I'm going to break this into a series of two videos is probably enough. Well, two, maybe three. I don't know. Don't hold me to it. But so to begin with, today, we're going to concentrate on making this shape of earring. This is going to be a nice basic frame that you can do all kinds of fun stuff with. You can hang a bead on it. You can leave it just the way it is. Oh, I don't have enough clearance there for that. But anyway, you can hang beads on it. You can put other shapes inside of it. You can just really designer it up. And I think that's probably the only shape we'll get to today. I do want to do this one also because this shape is the same kind of thing. You can just really fancy it up to your liking. And I posted this on my Facebook page and asked people which design they liked, whether they liked it just like this or whether they liked the little swirlies inside of it. Anyway, I digress. I'm too excited about these earrings. So let's concentrate on this round shape today and we'll go from there. So let's get started. Here's what you'll need to make these round earrings. You will need a bench block and a chasing hammer. You'll need a ruler. You'll need, well, I'm using 16 gauge wire. You can use 18 if you want. I wouldn't go much thinner than 18. So 16 or 18. I'm going to use 16. We'll need a little bit of like 24 gauge wire. We're going to do a little bit of wrapping. You'll need some bail making pliers. Have a couple of good tweezer nose and or chain nose pliers handy. We will, I think with these we may use our round nose pliers. Some nylon jaw pliers to help straighten out our wire. A good flush cutter. Of course, eventually we'll need jump rings and ear wires of your choice. And then this is a very technical tool. I don't know if any of you have this, but it is a nail polish bottle. But really, what you need, try to get something that is like 1 inch in diameter, something round that's 1 inch in diameter. If you want to get really technical to make this exact size, this is 1 1/16 diameter across here. It's not super important. Whatever object you have to wrap your wire around to make your round shape, that is certainly fine. When we get to the next tutorial, when we make shapes like this, we'll just need to adjust our shapes to fit inside of our earring. So that's just a long way of saying have something round to wrap your wire around to make your circle shape. First thing we need to do is make our round shape. So take your very technical tool, your polish bottle or whatever it is that you have, place your wire on it just about like that. Try to center it as much as possible. and then slowly wrap this wire around your, I'm just going to say bottle because I'm using a bottle, but whatever you're using. And just kind of slowly wrap it around there securely. Kind of make sure that the tips of your wires up here are even. Make little adjustments as you go. And then cross these wires over just like that. So now you have your circle and your ends straight out like so. Now we're going to make this little inside curl here. So using your, what do I want to use? Yeah, let's use our round nose pliers for this. And you're going to grab the tip of the wire and we're going to roll it this way so that it's, facing the same way, parallel, in line with the circle. So grab the tip of it, and then this is kind of a two-handed motion thing. I'm going to slightly rotate my wrist while holding the wire with my left thumb. And we're just going to start making a little curl here. And when you get your curl to about right there, the pivot point or pressure point is going to be with our left hand here. Grab the intersection of these wires while holding on with your round nose pliers and just bend the wire into a little curl like that. It may take a little practice, but once you get the hang of it, it's a lot of fun. And you'll be curling everything. Now at this point, just because I don't know, I just want things to kind of stay flat a little bit, I'm going to gently hammer this shape just a little bit to start giving it some strength and start encouraging it to lock in place. So just gently tapping the circle shape. All right, now we need to make this little curl on top. This is going to be our bail, but we don't need all of this wire. So get your ruler, and what we want to do is place, first of all, I need that wire to be out straighter. All right, what we want is this shape where our little curl is here. We want that, I don't know, just perpendicular, I guess. I'm not sure how to describe that, but what I want is for the center to be right here. And we have too much wire here. We don't need all that. So we are going to cut this to 0.75 inches. So find any inch mark on your ruler and put the center on that inch mark. You can see that, I think you can see, I wonder if you can see it better with my metal ruler, because I really want you to see this. All right, if I put like the end of my little curl there on an inch mark, that's the center top of our earring. And we're going to go out 3/4 of an inch and cut this wire. So from there, there's a 1/2 inch, there's 3/4 of an inch. And from there, we can make our bail. And you can do it with your round nose pliers, or you can do it with your bail making pliers. I'm going to use my bail making pliers for this, just to show you how it works with these. And I'm going to use the second step on my bail making pliers. Going to grab the wire, just the end of the wire, and then grab your earring firmly right here at the top and slowly start making this loop. You can turn your pliers over if you need to. You do this however works best for you. There we have our simple earring shape. Now we're going to hammer it so that we can strengthen it and give it some texture and some character. Like this one, you see the difference? Round, hammered, hammered. Hammered is better. All right. I like to do both sides. And just use gentle taps for that. You don't need to go crazy hammering this wire. You just need to flatten it and strengthen it. And you can tell how much stronger it is already. All right, so when you're happy with that, then I would encourage you to go ahead and do your second shape so that you can make adjustments as you go and get your shape to look exactly like this one. And I'm not going to do that right now for the sake of brevity. I'm going to go on to our next step, which is to cut a little bit of our 24 gauge weaving wire or wrapping wire. I don't know, 3 inches is probably plenty. But what we want to do is anchor these pieces together, secure these pieces together. They move apart right now, and that's not really what we want. We want them to be anchored together. And it also adds a nice little decorative touch. So lay your wire across that intersection a little bit. I can tell I've got way too much wire. And then just start wrapping your weaving wire around those two pieces at the top. And take your time. I'm going to wrap 5 times around here. Keep your weaving wire straight as you go so that it's nice and smooth. You can either use your fingers to weave it through there and pull it through, or you can use your pliers. And what I'm doing here after each one, I am sort of adjusting it so that the wrap sits where I want it to. Just kind of eyeball it wherever you want it to be. And I also want to try to keep our main wires parallel with one another. I don't want them crossing over one another. So keep them side by side. Keep going with your wrap here. And when you have your 5 wraps, or however many you want, finish it off on the back side. Bring the tips of your wires over to the back side of your earring frame. Squeeze everything gently together so that your wires are side by side. And then snip these off. Try to snip them off like right where the main wires intersect there. And then snug them up and tuck in the tips. Then give the whole wrap just a gentle squeeze, nothing too crazy. And there's our round earring shape. When you make your second earring, you're going to do it exactly the same way as you did the first one. And keep putting the 2 earrings together and making little adjustments as you need to with your pliers until you have them matching exactly, or as near as exactly as you can. And really, they don't have to be exact. These are organic, handmade, hand-shaped, wearable artwork. They're not mass-produced. They're not going to look mass-produced. So don't fuss and be hard on yourself if they are not exactly. See, mine aren't exactly, but one's going to be on one ear, one's going to be on the other ear. Nobody's going to be able to tell that there are little minor differences. All right, so you've got your 2 earrings. They're exactly the same, but if we want them mirrored or book matched, you're just going to turn this one over, and this is now your front. So when you wire it, you're still going to wire it right here. You're just going to cut the tails off in the back, and there you're going to have your 2 matched earrings. Now that we have our lovely pair of earrings here, we have some choices about if we want to go further with them as far as texturizing them or smoothing them or whatever. You can certainly leave them just like this. You can run them through a jewelry tumbler and put your ear wire on it and be good to go. You can take a polishing cloth and polish them and you're good to go. You can texturize them with the ball peen portion of your hammer and add those little facets that I love so much. Or you can maybe sand out the your hammer marks. If you want to just leave these smooth and you want to get rid of some little hammer marks in them, get some very, very, very fine sandpaper. I have all kinds of grits of sandpaper because I make inlay rings and you have to progressively sand them down. So I have a 7,000 grit sandpaper here. It's very, very fine. And if you want to remove some of those hammer marks, just take your sandpaper and very gently go over your earring. You can also wet sand it and that will give it a little more shine as well. So there's that. Let's see, leave them plain. Polish them with a polishing cloth, texturize them, run them through the jewelry tumbler. You've got all kinds of options here. What I'm going to do probably is, ultimately, I will probably leave them like this and run them through the jewelry tumbler. Just depends on what my next step is. I don't know if I'm going to do swirls in them, little embellishments like that. I don't know. Too many possibilities, but it's nice to have options. So I wanted to run that past you. Also, when you're going through all the steps and all the trouble and the care to make handmade earrings like this or handmade jewelry, it's important that as your last step to put a clear coating over it. This will inhibit the ability for it to tarnish. It'll be fairly tarnish resistant. Well, they will be tarnish resistant for a long time. If you leave them plain like this, they'll tarnish faster. But get yourself a good jewelry protector. I use Protect-A-Clear. It comes in several different forms and varieties. But ultimately, whether you're going to wear these yourself or whether you're going to sell them, you want them to be their absolute sparkling best because they've got your trademark, your name on them, and you're proud of them and you want them to last forever. Okay, well, that was part one. Parts 2 and 3 will be coming up. But y'all let me know which one you want to see next. Do you want to see the pretty teardrop shaped earring frame, or do you want to see how to make the different little components to fit into these earring frames? Let me know, and that's what we'll do. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.